All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Rainey Ray, and I am a gold leader in doTERRA. And all that means is that I love helping people and their pets get healthier with essential oils. Today, I have my friend Lynn here. Lynn is a doTERRA customer of mine. I've known Lynn for, God, many years. We met each other through our love of dogs and dog training, and specifically search and rescue training. Lynn and her husband are entrepreneurs, own their own IT company where Lynn handles all of the non-IT, all of the running of the company. And so she's coming up on, we said almost 2 years, right, Lynn? With doTERRA.
Yep.
And Lynn has, and I love this, Lynn has taken it slow and steady, getting to know the oils, incorporating them in her routine. And that has been really, really good because her comfort level has grown steadily. Lynn has a background in dental hygiene, so she had done that for decades. So she has a real commitment to health that drives this urge to learn. And lucky for us, she's generous with her knowledge. So as you know, I'm not a DIY person. I was just telling Lynn my idea of a body butter is oils into the pre-made body butter from doTERRA. So Lynn, I'm going to let you guide us here, talking to us about scrubs that we can make for ourselves, our loved ones, and for gifts and things now that we have the holidays fast approaching.
All right then. Rainey's in Florida. I'm in Wisconsin, so I connect with her whenever I can, or if she's up in Chicago. But I've joined also a doTERRA group here in my community. And there's a wonderful group of about 20 women. We're there to share ideas. We are all united in the doTERRA community of health and doing better. We share what we know because we're all in this together.
And don't you love that? I mean, with doTERRA, some of my closest cohorts are not in my line. They're cross line, meaning we're not in business specifically together. And we share everything. We're so generous. I love that about doTERRA, don't you?
Yeah, and so I've done 3 sessions with them. I'm waiting tonight to sign up for 3 more. So the last one was on scrubs. Now they did a sugar scrub. We got to try it while we were there. I'm diabetic. And so I also have another one that I've made on my face, but when I'm in the shower, I don't like the taste of sugar because I'm kind of programmed to stay away from it. So I said, what about salt? And everybody looked at me and said, go ahead. So I researched what I could find. I found that pink Himalayan salt is probably one of the most healing. It's got 88 minerals in it. What does that mean? It means that it's very healthy for your skin. Looking it up, magnesium and sulfate are in it. And what it does is it detoxifies the body.
Oh, wow.
So they're actually saying, start with your feet and move up if you're doing a detox thing. So it was a bit, but I found it. I've got a 5-pound now from Amazon, but it was a little bit of a search to find what I was looking for. So then I'm like, okay, what am I going to put with it? Obviously fractionated coconut oil, but I like to play. So while FCO is really good and it soothes, I'm like, well, how about more? So, my base is when I start with a cup of sugar. So the first thing is, if you get Himalayan salt, it's a little bit big. So I thought, well, that's not going to feel good. It might feel good.
You mean the grains are, it's not fine enough ground.
Yeah, the grains are a little bit big.
Gotcha.
So, like a mad scientist in my kitchen, I had a little blender. So I put it in here. It's my little $10 blender from Thanksgiving. And I took a cup and I just reduced it to where I thought was reasonable. I wasn't reducing it to sand. I want to have a little bit of grit with it. So if I take a cup of pink Himalayan salt, reduce it down, put it into a bowl, then I started with, and I'm analytical, so I have an Excel spreadsheet. Everything I make, I record all
Love
the
it.
balances and everything, all the oils. I have a group of about 12 ladies who was thrilled to be my test cases. And this is what I wanted to do, was make Christmas presents. So I started to look, okay, the base is fractionated coconut oil, and you could even stop there if you wanted and just use that. But I said, well, what about vitamin E? Because it's anti-inflammatory, it's
Ooh,
good for
yum.
your skin. Then I looked at jojoba. That reduces redness. It helps for people who have eczema, blemishes, wrinkles, any skin type could use it. I'm kind of obsessive about what is the best. So I also have on order grapeseed oil, a couple of other things that I'm going to try, carrot oil, just to try those. But my basic one that I started with was just a cup of the pink Himalayan salt, a half a cup of fractionated coconut oil. And then I started experimenting, a half a teaspoon of vitamin E. And then I put lavender 15 drops in, and I followed by peppermint. Peppermint's refreshing. It gives you a little bit of tingling, but it can be overpowering. So you want to drop that less than what is your intention oil. And I was playing with combinations of them.
Interesting. Now, when you're doing this, do you do it in a bowl, or what do you do?
Yeah. So there's two ways I did it. Rainey first said to me, well, you should get your liquids all together and mix them. And what I noticed yesterday is if I put fractionated coconut oil and jojoba, when I add the vitamin E in, it looks a little bit like oil and water, doesn't quite integrate. And then I put my oils in, and then I put it over top of the salt. And I'm using the end of 2 chopsticks because they're wooden.
Perfect.
To mix them as opposed to metal. Don't ask me why, but it just happened that way. So
Yeah.
I've tried it that way, mix the oils, dump it in and mix it. So if you do that, you first think, oh, this is never going to integrate. Just keep stirring. It does integrate.
Cool.
Then I tried it, just the salt, dump everything in, mix it. Truly, I can't see a difference between them.
Okay.
So if you mix a cup of the Himalayan salt and these things, you will get a 4-ounce jar. You'll get 2 of these. So I just order these off of Amazon. And then I just write on the top, this one is
cool.
Citrus Bliss scrub, what's in it. For a while I was using, I can't, so I was using those labels. And so I just started playing with different combinations. So I did a lavender and peppermint. I did a citrus and peppermint, same thing. Peppermint is a little bit overpowering. I played with.
So what were those ratios, those drops again that you put in for a cup of Himalayan?
A cup of Himalayan salt. And then I'm playing with a half a cup of fractionated coconut oil seems better than a 1/4 cup. So a half a cup. Then I'm using about a half a teaspoon of vitamin E and mixing that. And then the drops, whatever you're making your mixture, it ends up, if you're doing a combination, I'm doing 15 of one, 15 of another. So here's my concern when I mix that together, is that enough liquid in there to keep it hydrated? So I told all the ladies, when you're not using it, tip it upside down like this. And then when you flip it around, shake it or mix it to make sure. So my test subjects are out there to tell me, do I have the right mix of the liquid to the salt?
So that it becomes the right consistency to actually get it out of the jar and use it, right?
Yeah. And what they're doing is they're just putting it on their skin and, maybe 30 seconds, rinse, and only pat dry. And since we're all in the over 50 group, except for a couple of young does, we're all saying it feels good. So now what I'm playing with is that enough to keep it going? Do I need to increase from my 1/4 cup of fractionated coconut oil up? Is there a difference if I used more, or why bother? So that's kind of what I'm playing with. Now, one of the ones that Rainey had mentioned to me when I was telling her about which oils was that she said to me, lemon, lavender, and peppermint are antihistamines. So that's interesting for those people.
Yes, together, that's our antihistamine combo because of the chemical constituents that they bring to the party.
Yeah, so I have used my combination on my face. They usually say 2 to 3 times a week is enough. If you're in the northern climes, doing your feet makes you purr, but I don't know about you. When I wear socks, the lower part of my leg gets dry, so that's where I use it. So
Awesome.
I'm just playing.
So the combos that you were talking about, you talked about lemon with peppermint,
Mhm.
and then
Citrus peppermint,
citrus, specifically Citrus Bliss, or which citrus?
citrus bliss. Yeah.
Okay, and that
Um,
with peppermint. And then I thought when we were talking the other day, you mentioned a grapefruit and ginger that you were playing with too.
Yep. And then I'm branching out. I took my coffee grinder to see if I could get the grain smaller, and it ends up being powder and woofs when you take the thing off. So
yeah.
Maybe I'm doing it too long. Maybe I'm not. And so the other thing that Rainey was commenting on, it would depend. If you showered at nighttime, you might need something that's a little more calming before you go to bed. So you might want to go to the lavender. I think the sky's the limit on what combinations you really want to do.
And I love that, because here in this, in our community, what we look at is, okay, what do you got going on? What oils are going to address it? And how can I get them on or in my body or the air to help me? Okay. So I love that, the lavender for calming. Lavender is so soothing to the skin and calming to the skin too. Grapefruit has so many wonderful powers, and ginger too. So whatever suits people's fancy, and then aromatically if they like them together, right?
Yeah, and I just have an Excel spreadsheet. So I've made about a dozen scrubs. I have all the combinations. I'm going to send them out a little questionnaire that says, how did you like it? How did you like the smell? How did it feel on your skin? Was it hydrating enough? Yes, I know Rainey laughs, but I'm very analytical from the science background. And so I'm just playing to see what I find.
I love that.
I went on this morning, and doTERRA, you can find, there is a ginger lime brown scrub there. There's also a coconut salt scrub, and a lavender one, and that one you can watch them mix it. So try it. It's super simple.
I love that. So just some quick takeaways. One, if all you use is fractionated coconut oil with your sugar or salt, depending on your preference, then so be it. If you want to up level and give some more, maybe emollient properties or things like that, then you can add either vitamin E or jojoba or whatever it is you wish, and play around with the oils you put in. So I love that. I love that. I think that and it can change over time,
It's super simple. If all you use is pink Himalayan salt, pick your oil if you want just one.
Right.
Add your carrier oil in, and you've got Christmas presents right away. Awesome. And I assure you, nobody's going to refuse them. I kind of watch to see when they open the jar, can they pick out the scent and what's their reaction? So lavender is a sell right away.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we all love lavender. Well, we really appreciate you, Lynn, and I know that we have some people that have joined us, so we'll do a Q&A after, but if anyone has any questions, reach out to the person that shared this video with you. If that person was me, you know how to reach out to me. If it was Lynn, you know how to reach out to her. So, and everybody just, enjoy and happy oiling, and go forth and DIY. Even I want to do this now, and I am not a DIY person. I had to look up what DIY meant. So we're going to end the recording now so that we can do a little Q&A. And if I can figure out where to do it, there we go. All right. Thank you, Lynn.